Hello, parents. Welcome to the Masterful Parenting Podcast. I'm Ann Alvarez, parent coach, school counselor, and mom of two. Do you struggle with your relationship with your kids because you carry childhood pain? Do you get triggered by your child's behavior, become irrational, and maybe even yell at your children? Maybe you want to be a better parent, but you don't know how. Instead of repeating old patterns, you want to heal your pain, become more aware of your child's needs, feel connected to your kids, and learn the tools to communicate better so you can truly enjoy your parenting. If you are ready to heal your childhood pain, raise healthy, connected, and happy kids, and end the cycle of parenting with pain, then join me. Our kids deserve it, and we can do this. Let's go. Hello, parents. Welcome to the Masterful Parenting Podcast. I'm so excited because we have one of my favorite guests, Jessie Sweed, fellow parent coach from Pennsylvania, now living in Spain. Welcome, Jessie.
Thank you, Anne. This is becoming very familiar territory to me. Like, so thank you for having me. I always love talking with you, and we always have great conversations.
We always do. We always do. Okay, so the theme for today's show is fathers and daughters. And you have a
Yeah,
daughter.
I'm
So I
excited. And
thought, yes, and a son. So you have experience with both. So it's pretty amazing.
yeah,
So
but I don't, even though it's 2024, I don't have experience being a mother. So,
no, you do not. You do not.
no,
Okay. Um,
and I don't identify as such.
okay. Let's make that perfectly clear. Okay. Um,
I mean, this is a side note. You can cut this out or whatever. But on one podcast I was on, I guested on a podcast, and it was on I forget what it was on really. But her first question was, hey Jesse, and I'm sorry, I should have asked this before we got on, but like, how can I refer to you as? What do you identify as? And I just
you were like,
laughed.
what?
I don't, I haven't had my, I haven't had my gender questioned in person. I do from my name. People are like, Jesse, oh, is that, but not into my face. Not since
Right,
I was in high school.
right, right. I know
No,
people are
anyway,
very aware now. Very aware.
is that a weird? I don't know if I'd use that word, but anyway, go ahead. We don't want to get too controversial on your show. That's for other show maybe.
Oh, all right. Let's talk about my first question. My
Yeah.
first question is, I will not ask you that question, by the way,
Okay.
because I already know. How, how is parenting a daughter different from parenting a son?
Good question. So, parenting a daughter is different than parenting a son. And I would say, like, this is from a father's perspective, because as you know, like, parenting a daughter and a son are different from a mother and a father's position too, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I'd say for me, the difference between, and I'm gonna try to go away from like the stereotypical answer that everyone kind of gives, like a son is more rough and they like farting and things are fun for them and it's not for a daughter, things like that. But so those are things that everybody knows, those stereotypes. So I guess I'll kind of think of it a little differently. So parenting a daughter as a father, for me, I'm aware that I'm an example of what men are to her.
Oh,
So to me, that's one of the biggest responsibilities in parenting to me. It's that I'm kind of I'm grateful that I have this awareness, and that's why I love sharing about this. So more people, I think not as many people are aware of that, at least with their actions and it affects their behavior as maybe should be or as would be more healthy. But to be aware that we are their examples. So, and they're watching us. My daughter's 9. So she'll be dating, stereotypically speaking, in a few years.
20 years from now.
In 30 years from now. No, but you know what? The way she is, she has zero interests in like boys or anything. And you might think, well, she's only 9. Well, her friends do. Her
I
friends
know.
do. Her little brother, who's turned 7 next week, we're gonna have problems with him. But like she's like, I don't want any. She likes her drawing. She likes her, makeup. She
Fun.
likes TV a lot. And so I don't think we'll have really an issue, and she has a good head. But that being said, it's my choice whether to mess that up in a way.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I saw a meme the other day, actually, come to think of it, and it was Batman. It was a GIF, and it was Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne in the 80s, right?
Okay.
And he looks up and like stands up like like his attention is drawn over there. And the caption said, "Me in a bar, here overhearing a girl saying her dad wasn't around much." You know,
Oh,
so
wow.
like yeah, so it's my kind of it's my responsibility to do everything I can to make that not happen.
Right.
And that doesn't mean like lay down the hammer. That's the exact opposite,
Mhm.
right? But it's
Yeah.
being understanding. It's showing that like, hey, this is acceptable behavior from males or from men or from a partner.
Right.
Um, you know, and that's actually comes to a good question. Like, I don't know if she becomes like if she's a lesbian, I don't know if I'm an example for a partner. Do you know that? How does
I
that
don't,
work?
I don't know.
Maybe somebody will know and they'll be able to
Yeah,
shed some light on this.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I was thinking more of the traditional, kind
yeah,
of
so traditional
father-daughter.
speaking,
Yeah.
like I'm an example of what she should expect from men. We'll say that.
For Monday.
Yeah. Okay. So, so yeah, it's just being aware that I am setting the example for what she should expect or a standard for her to expect from a future partner. And I think that's a lot more than like saying words or being strict or not letting her go out or whatever, but like be an example for what she should expect, a standard that she should expect.
I love that. I love that. What do you want
And
your
that's a
daughter
big responsibility. That's a
to
big
use?
responsibility. That's one of the biggest responsibilities to me.
I agree. I want to know what you want your daughter to know. I want to know what you want your daughter to know about men.
Yeah. Um, I'll treat this like she's gonna be listening, which she probably won't, but this is how I'm gonna answer it. And I want to answer that question by dispelling um, stereotypes because the kind and we're on here having this conversation to be put out so other people can hear, so I don't want to say the same answers like, oh, men only want one thing and be careful and stuff like that. I don't want to do that, for one, because like everyone says that anyway, so why are we having a show about that? And for two, it's not true. So, and I think sometimes it can be true, but I think if we continue that kind of narrative, if we continue to teach our daughters that be careful, men only want one thing, be careful, they're so aggressive. Don't date until you're whatever, or, be careful when you go out. And we're doing a few things. For one, we're implanting a self-fulfilling prophecy. We are putting in their head like this idea. And if this is in their idea, then their mind, their what's called a reticular activating system is design, which is the thing in our brain that filters out anything that's not important or that forms with our identity. We're preparing their filter to see the predatorial behavior. And there are a lot more things to see when it comes to dating, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to relationships. So I would not say that. And I guess what to know about men? Um, don't listen to the cliches. Like men never listen. Like don't listen to that. Be you. Like one of our my signs in the bathroom, and it comes from actually her mouth, and I made it a sign, be you, um, is be you and treat everyone like they are them. Um, treat everyone with genuine behavior from you, and they'll notice that. And when you're confident in yourself, it doesn't matter what other people will do. You're not walking around like a victim. We've spoken before about the four character types. You're not walking around like a victim. You're not walking around scared. You're not walking around like just waiting for someone to, come at you, bro. Like you're not just waiting. You are taking control of your life. So treat men as individuals. Um, don't listen to cliches. Um, they listen and listen to them. It's a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a relationship. Um, and there are a lot of cliches about men. There are a lot of cliches about women. Um, come on. Like, all women are the same. All men are the same. No, no. You get to know each one as they are, as individuals. And that's what I want to say about that. That's all I got to say about that.
One of the most valuable lessons I learned was from Maya Angelou. She said, when people show you who they are, believe them. And I
Hmm.
think that is so true, right? Like
Yes.
we're not here to change other people, but if someone shows us who they are, right?
Yes.
By being disrespectful or angry or unkind, then we
Yes.
know that's who they are.
That's true. That's so true. That's such a good application of that. And I was wondering where that like was going, how that was connected, but it so is because if you're true to yourself and you're treating each, male, each man, each boy as an individual, you'll be more open to see them for who they are.
Mhm.
Whereas if you're like with the mindset, all men are the same, all men only want one thing, then you're expecting that, then well, what can I do?
Yeah,
Like all men are the same,
exactly.
like you kind of like stuck.
Exactly. Exactly. And you got to
Yeah.
know your worth as a young woman, right? Like you have to
Yes.
know that you're worthy of healthy, good relationships, right?
Yes.
So I think
Yes.
that's important. I love that. Okay, I
And
want,
professionally,
yes.
professionally now more and more women are into the entrepreneur space, are growing their own business like you. Like
Mhm.
and it's like know your own worth goes even deeper than like romantic relationships. It's professionally. It's yourself as a person. It's keeping your standards high. You're on mute.
I totally agree with you, Jesse Sweed.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Okay, let's talk about mom. I want
Yeah.
to ask you, what do you remember about the way that your mom mothered you?
Yeah. Um, it's interesting because like she wasn't very like motherly, I guess you could say, like not warm, like she's not hands off, but like definitely not what they would say in Spanish, cariñoso, right? Not like warm, and she'll tell me this. She said this, that's just not her personality. So so there's that. And
Is that opposite from the way you are? Like, are you
good
lovey?
question. I am. Well, I'm lovey and I'm also like, you know, like pick at the like practical jokes, like, things like that. And I'm very like physical, like huggy and stuff, but also like bear huggy wrestly too.
Okay, okay, okay. You
You
like
know,
you're playful.
playful. Yeah.
Yes, yes, you're
Yeah.
playful. Okay. Um,
I
I like I
love the authority that you told me that it was like you were telling me, like, yes, you're playful, Jesse. I think so. Yes, you're playful. Okay, moving on.
my boys are both playful with me, so I know playful very well.
Yeah, right.
I was gonna say though, like, we have to know our children because they have different personalities and different love languages, right?
Yeah.
Like when I think about my two boys, my oldest is not a hugger.
Mm,
Uh, he's uncomfortable when I hug him too much.
yeah.
And but his love language is quality time. So when I'm telling a story, he wants me to stop everything I'm doing and really be attentive and listening to him, right? So I
Mm,
really make sure that I do that. And he was like that when he was very, very little as well. But my youngest is a hugger. He's very physical. He touches me a lot,
yeah.
and hugs me and things like that. So that's his love language. He likes
Interesting.
physical touch, right?
Mine too. Mine are the same. My oldest, my daughter, like I'll go like to give her a hug, and it's like a joke now, and
Yeah.
she'll duck under it, so like I'll be grasping air, you know and then I go with it because martial arts is a part of me and my family, so I'll go with it as like teaching her reflexes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So she ducks. So yeah, and I don't know, how do you feel about this? So sometimes I'll just like I'll grab her anyway and like hold her and hug her and stuff, because sometimes I almost wonder like we can push people away, but almost like I still kind of miss the hug. I still want.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I don't want to like completely dismiss that part of our relationship.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll like grab her and hug her and she, "Nah, put me down, not in an uncomfortable way, but yeah, yeah, you know what I mean.
So cute. I think
Yeah.
at 9 you can do that. But
Yeah.
when they're older, they might be like, that's enough, Dad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like read the room, dude.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, since
Yeah,
this
she's
topic,
like 16 and has her friends over. Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
well, my oldest is 25, right? So, gosh, sorry, that will be cut out. My oldest is 25, so he, yeah, I have to be careful because he doesn't really like hugging. So I have to show my love to him in other ways. So
Mm.
that's what I do. I show him in other ways. But getting back
Yeah.
to the topic of fathers and daughters, I just wanted to, first of all, I want to just say I think it's amazing that you are aware of all of this with regards to your daughter, that you are the role model, you set the example. She learns about men through you, right?
Mm.
Because I was having this talk with a father last week, and he was yelling and reprimanding his daughter. And I said to him, you know that you are the example of her future relationships with men.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
explained to him how I know this is because I had a yelling, abusive father. And so I attracted those kinds of relationships, right, in my early years. And also, um, I had a distrust of men
Hmm.
because of my experience with my dad. I still kind of have it,
I
like,
bet you do. Yeah.
yeah, I'm still a little bit like, can I trust him?
It's like written on your DNA almost, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, because
that's how I believe it, because like you can always learn, okay, cognitively, this is like, okay, I can trust. I'm
yeah,
strong enough. But you still have that like that carving
yes,
in who you are,
yes,
you
because
know.
there's a part of you that wants to protect yourself
Mm,
because you were hurt as a child, right?
hmm.
So it's there. So I think that's why I think it's so important for men to know that you are the first male relationship, like opposite sex relationship with your
Mm,
daughter. And she
mm,
learns about men through you. And what I said to this dad was, do you want her to have an abusive husband? Because if you are yelling at her and threatening her, then she's learning that is the relationship she should have, right?
yes.
And so I don't know, he had a light bulb moment
That's
when I spoke those words, right? But I just want dads to know, like I know you get frustrated and you get mad, especially with teenagers. Like teenage girls are challenging, but you got to remember that you are the role model. So, whatever your daughter's going through, you have to give her space, kindness, empathy, understanding, and refrain from making her feel bad about herself or yelling at her, because that is not actually healthy. So
no.
I think a lot of men can change that kind of dialogue when they realize that they love their daughters and they want their daughters to have healthy relationships with men. And it
Yeah.
starts with you, dads. It starts with you.
Yeah. And like especially like, you know, macho behavior, like that same kind of father is probably the same one. Like you said, we love our daughters, and sometimes we show it in different ways, but that's the same kind of father that will say, if anyone raises a hand on my daughter, they're dead. And it's
Yes,
like, well, like, look in
you
the
did.
mirror, man. Look in the
Yes,
mirror,
you
you
did.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, and I know the teenage years, like it's like kids are young at younger and younger ages hitting the preteen, like
true.
the preteen hormones or the preteen behavior,
Yeah.
like much younger, I think, than in our day, in our
Mhm.
day.
Mhm.
Um, and it's going to be a challenge. And I just hope that, like, what I'm counting on is even if I mess up, when I mess up, like I already laid that foundation when she
Yes.
was little. So that way, if I do mess up, it's a, like muscle memory, like peace and patience is etched on her. The thing that I have to like keep myself in check is with my son. I know this is like father, daughter, son, mother, son, but like that's like he is a firecracker
Mhm.
when he's a teen. I foresee some explosions or like mostly on his, and then I have to keep my own reactions under control.
Right.
I have to keep who I am.
Yeah. It just shows that our children are different and we have to parent differently with our kids, right?
Yeah.
Based on their personalities and what they bring to the table. We have to be mindful of those things, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Jesse, thank you so much. I'm gonna like just do a little recap of
Okay.
what Jesse.
Wasn't there one more question in there, or was that all of them?
Oh, that was it, but we can do a part two on moms.
Yeah. Cool.
Would you be able to come back and talk to
Yeah.
me?
And then I
Okay.
can actually ask you some questions then.
Yeah, because and you're also a son, so you
Yeah.
have feedback about moms because of being a son, right? So I
Yeah.
think it'd be great. Okay, let's do a recap for parents. I'm going to try to do the recap, paraphrase what you said. And then
Hmm.
if I miss anything, let me know. All right,
Okay.
so the first thing is that Jesse said with his daughter that men can be the role models, right? And be mindful of that you are the role model so that you are aware of the way that you are reacting, responding, listening, those kinds of things that our daughters need. And that we can remember that um, our daughters are different from our sons in that they need more understanding, maybe more patience uh, than than maybe our sons. And then they also relate to us in a different way, right? So they may talk to you more about things, uh, and they also want to be heard and listened to. And you got to kind of read your kids, right, to see uh, how they're responding to
Hmm.
you. But we don't want to model bad behavior with our daughters because our daughters are learning about relationships with men through
Hmm.
father.
Yes. That's,
So
I
we have,
think, if there were one key takeaway from this whole episode, from this whole conversation, that's the one that I would probably want to highlight. So we are the example for the standard that they should find acceptable through like a male relationship, which is a heavy responsibility. And also, I just want to also throw it out there. If you haven't been the best role model, if you haven't been the best example, then like it's not too late
no,
to change because you have to change yourself. And it's never too late to change ourselves. And I'd say even if they're an adult, you might have had maybe even an irreparable, is that the word I'm looking for?
or
Um,
irreparable.
irreparable, but like relationship, and you see it is this is impossible to build back. Maybe, but you need to work on yourself
Mhm.
and then let the relationship build it. Like you can't repair yourself for that relationship because that won't work because it's not real. Focus
Right.
on ourselves and let them see that in you. But if they're still little, if they're in their teens, it's not too late. It's not too late.
No, it's not too late. And repair means apologize and reconcile, right? So
Yes.
it's okay to say,
Apologize without excuse,
yes,
without like, I'm sorry, but no,
yes. And
that's
then,
not, that doesn't work. I'm sorry, but you know how I get. Yeah, that's what I'm
right,
pissed off about. You know,
right.
that's what's done that damage.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you know how I am. No,
yeah,
okay, well, yeah, change.
yeah. And we can do better.
Be better.
We can be better. We
Yeah.
we 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 don't have to live with our mistakes. We can
Yeah.
apologize and we can move on and we can
Hmm.
be better. But
Hmm.
you're right, Jesse Sweed. It starts with us.
Starts with us.
It starts with
Everything
us.
starts with us. We're the only
Everything
one.
starts with us. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you, Jesse Sweed. Do you want to tell parents again where they can find you?
Jesse Sweet on Facebook, you know, apparent leadership. I started a new Instagram channel that I never do anything to, but I'm there for when I do. Come join me for when I do upload stuff, and on LinkedIn.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Jesse. Always love having you on the show.
I love it too.
All right. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye,
Bye.
parents. Love you. If this podcast inspired, blessed, or changed you in any way, I would love for you to share this with your family and friends on your Instagram page and tag me at Masterful Parenting. And join my Masterful Parenting Facebook page or DM me for more parenting support. and I will meet you here real soon. Remember, be relational with your kids, and you will see a change. Love to all you parents out there. Let's change the world one parent at a time.